Happy New Year. Here's to your best year ever. One of the most powerful and impactful steps you can take is taking a close look at your development. And why not take a close look at how people experience you Monday to Monday? We've been talking about several elements to the book that is coming out on February 7th. We talked about the 3 drivers of influence. If you could imagine a triangle, you have feedback on this side, you have practice here, and accountability on the bottom. You're ready to find out what sits inside. Self-awareness is the first element to that influence model, because we cannot enhance our communication if we're not aware of how people experience us. A couple of weeks ago, I had the honor to mentor a CEO of a large manufacturing company here in Chicago. I was doing videotaping so that he could see through the eyes and ears of his listeners. When we watched the playback, 15 seconds into observing himself, he looks at me and he asked, "I bet you wonder how I ever became a CEO." That is one of those awkward moments. You're not sure, how should you respond to that? When I asked him, give me some insight, what's going on? He had stated that he had never seen himself through the eyes and ears of his listeners. He was shocked by how he came across versus how he felt. 2 completely different concepts for him. He also shared with me that anytime he asked for feedback from his executive team, he would always get the response, "Good, nice job." And we know from previous recordings of this video, feedback is flawed, and I've given you some tips around that in a previous recording. I have a speech coach, Lou. Lou loves to talk, and Lou was sharing with me how he was on the plane flying to another city, and he happened to be sitting next to a psychologist. And through some small talk back and forth, at some point Lou asked the psychologist, "What is the secret? I mean, what really is the key to someone's improvement?" After a long pause, the psychologist responded, "Individuals who are willing to embrace their own ignorance." Are you ready? Are you ready to get comfortable being uncomfortable? Are you ready to be vulnerable in an area of your development you may not have given a lot of attention to, or you may need to even give more attention to? Self-awareness. Could we be sabotaging our communication because we're not as self-aware as we think we are? I have learned over my 15 years of coaching executives and delivering keynote presentations for industries across the board that most individuals believe they're more influential than they really are. Now, I know that's a strong statement, especially if you don't know me, but think about it. If you have not seen yourself through the eyes and ears of your listener in the last 3 months, is there a chance you're basing how you come across, you're basing your level of influence on how you feel rather than fact? If you're serious, if you're really serious about your development this year, if you want to take your influence to a whole new level, how about, here's your action step. How about this month you commit to video or audio recording yourself 5 times every week? Now, for those of you who know me, you know I never throw out action steps if I'm not doing it. My speech coach watches my videos. My team watches my videos monthly. I watch their videos monthly, because influence Monday to Monday, this is a lifelong learning. This isn't something that suddenly just falls out of the sky and you're able to do it. Otherwise, more people would be influential. Now, I want to give you the second action step to make it your biggest value. If you're going to go through this whole idea of video and audio recording, I want you to think of 3 adjectives. Why don't you take a moment, write down 3 adjectives that best describe how do you want to come across Monday to Monday. Take a moment to write those down. Now, frequently, I have individuals say they want to come across as trustworthy, knowledgeable, credible. That's important for you to have a clear vision on how do you want people to perceive you. Now, when you watch these recordings, and again, you're not recording your clients, you could easily record yourself on the phone, your end of the conversation. We've got the technology to do it. I have a leader right now at a very large insurance company who he decided to videotape himself during his monthly team meetings. Now, when he first showed up with the camera and the team is wondering what's going on, this is different, he said to his team, I want to make sure that I show up as the best leader I can to you. And the only way I can do that is I need to experience myself through what you experience monthly. Now, you know what eventually happened. His team started to see the value. They started to see how he was improving and growing his influence, that he was able to turn the camera on them. It is now a requirement. Every meeting, they have an iPad recording themselves. Each of the team members have to watch themselves throughout that week, throughout that month. You could easily do that. So your first action step is recording yourself, audio or video, 5 times a week for a full month. If you did that, I promise you by the end of January, you are going to be at a totally different level of awareness for the better. When you watch your playback, make note of this. I want you to watch that playback first by watching and dissecting it as a whole. The second time you watch it, say it's a video, turn off the sound. Watch your behaviors. How do your behaviors come across? Are they consistent with how you want someone to grasp your message, how you want them to remember and take action on your message? The third time you watch the video, turn your back. Don't watch yourself, just listen to it. Dissect your word choice. Do you have influence behind your words, your sentence structure? Do you have pauses, too long, too short? Are there words you can eliminate to make sure you have more brevity? On the fourth time you watch that video, watch it as a whole. And then write down 3 action steps you're going to commit to for that week, for that month, however you want to break it down. I am a big believer in video and audio playback. I think without that mechanism, it's going to be really difficult to get to the level of influence that you want to get to. I send you my very best. Thanks for listening in. I'm looking forward to seeing you next week. Good luck with the recordings and with the action steps. Take care.